Hey guys, welcome to Rising Stars. I'm your interim host, Sean Watt. Michael will be away for a little bit, but he'll be back with you guys in the future. This production is sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. Without further ado, I'd like to present you guys to our next guest, the beautiful and stunning Arina. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Arina, where does that name come from? It's very unique.
Arina is Russian name.
Russian,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm from Moldova.
Moldova.
And I was first Arina in my village. Yeah,
Wow.
surprisingly.
Yeah, okay. What's the common names there in the village that you came from?
Masha, Anya.
Anya's very
common.
very
Anaya,
common, yeah. I've seen that.
Anastasia, all those
Anastasia,
names, Russian
obvious.
names. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how did you end up in Canada? Must be a story.
Yeah, so my parents got divorced and my mom wanted to get away, so we're
Yeah.
here. It's been 10 years that we're here.
Yeah.
It's only me and my mom.
Okay.
And yeah, she wanted for me a better life because in Moldova it's really hard with finances and we don't really have opportunities, so.
So the economy is very poor there and it's
Yeah.
not good. And
Unfortunately,
Okay.
yeah. So we're here, we came here.
okay, you came here and how long have you been in Canada for?
10 years.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Just here in Montreal or?
In Montreal,
Montreal.
only, yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of Montreal as a city?
I love Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's a bit expensive, but it's very artsy, and a lot of people here are really nice.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I came here because I don't want to say Moldova people are not nice, but you know,
It's different.
it's different.
It's different.
For sure.
Let's just say
Culture's
it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, very different. When you arrived to Canada, what was the first thing that you drank and ate? That was like truly Canadian, where you're like, oh my god, it's so good, or maybe it was bad. What was
Oh
it?
my god, the first thing I ate was poutine. Yeah, I ate
Poutine. Okay, and your opinion about it the first time that you had it?
I was like, that's so weird. It's just potatoes, cheese, and the sauce. I didn't like the sauce, but then I
Don't
was
judge
like,
it till you try it. Okay.
but then I liked it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I started eating it pretty often after.
Yeah, and that's probably led to several food comas and
Yeah,
whatever
for sure.
else.
Too many poutines.
Yeah, okay, so what about a beverage? Like, have you tried, when you first arrived in Canada, when you got off the plane, what was that first sort of beverage? Did you try, like, Tim Hortons, for example? It's very classic,
No,
right?
I went to like Dépanneur.
Okay.
And
So for those that don't know what a dépanneur is, it's a corner store.
yeah, corner store.
Yeah.
And my mom bought me Canada Dry.
Canada Dry, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
And
the first drink I've ever drank in Canada.
it's pretty good, right?
It's good. It's like Sprite.
Yeah, so
Locally,
apparently
yeah.
there are rumors that if you're actually sick, you drink,
We drink Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. It's supposed to help with a sore throat and things like that and whatever else.
Ginger Force, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, obviously. Okay, so after that, when you arrived in Canada, what did you end up doing to sort of set roots here? Like, did you just went to school, obviously? Did you fit in? Because obviously you're from a different culture,
Yeah.
right? So how did that go for you?
It was hard because I didn't speak any English or French, so I was in class with other immigrant kids.
Oh, okay, so they have schools
So,
for that.
yeah, so we learned French together.
Did that help, being with other
For
immigrants?
sure,
or,
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't feel that lonely, so we were all together, same like situation, so we really bonded. That really helped a lot.
Yeah.
Because my high school had it's called classe d'accueil. It's a class for immigrant people, and it's divided from people that actually in secondary.
Yeah,
do you
so
call it?
it's like a high school, so secondary.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So
4
we're
and 5, whatever.
divided. Yeah.
Okay.
It was hard, but I adapted pretty fast because I was really social back then. Still now.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was okay.
So if you're an immigrant coming to, let's say, Montreal, let's say someone wants to come here to Montreal, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate learning French? Obviously, you were young and you learned it, and obviously you absorbed it like a sponge, but let's say you're someone who's like 18, 20 years old coming to Montreal. French, would it be hard for someone to learn?
I feel the grammar is super hard and pronunciation as well because it depends where you're coming from. Like me, I had a really strong Russian accent, and a lot of people couldn't understand what I was talking about when I was speaking French.
Crazy. Yeah,
Crazy. So yeah, you gotta talk a lot to people in French so you kind of get your accent okay, so people understand you, and also practice the language.
Yeah.
Talking a lot with people helps a lot learning. Yeah.
The thing is, people in general are sort of shy when they're learning a new language.
Yeah.
Like when I was learning Spanish, I was so shy, but I was listening like crazy to everybody speak, right? Just absorbing everything like a
listening helps a
mockingbird,
lot.
right?
Yeah.
But I find here, even when I try to speak French sometimes, they'll automatically switch to English. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do I practice my French if you guys are switching to English?
It's because you're shy inside, yeah.
maybe, but like, would you recommend that an immigrant who's coming here to take French courses? Because I think the government offers programs,
They're
right,
free.
for that? They're free.
Free French course. It's called francisation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people were to do that, how long is the course? Is it intense? Is it light? Do you know any? Do you have any?
My mom took it, but I didn't because I was in high school learning French, and I think it was a year. It was pretty intense, but it was good because you learn pretty fast, and you can talk to other people in French because they're all in the same situation.
Is it stressful though? Because like, you know what I mean? Like when they're putting that sort of pressure on you, it's like you need to learn it, yes or yes, otherwise you don't progress, right?
I don't feel they put a lot of pressure on you.
Okay.
It depends on you, if you actually want to learn the language, you got to put some, efforts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
okay.
it.
So after you learned French, what was sort of the next step of things that you decided to do here in Montreal? Because obviously it's a new start for you, right?
Yeah.
You could be a new you, essentially. You could be like, you know what, this is the old me, now I'm going to be this person.
New life, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you do after? Did you start pursuing anything in particular? Take advantage of the opportunities presented to you here? Feel free to share.
Yeah, for sure. My dream was to be an actress.
Okay.
So in high school, we had a theater classes, and I took them. So that's where my story began. That's why.
What got you interested in taking those classes? Like, obviously, you saw the post, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, theater. But what made you take that step forward and being like, yeah, I want to try it?
I don't know. I was always artistic. Back in Moldova, I was singing in a choir.
Yeah, choir.
Choir,
okay.
sorry. In a choir, and I don't know. I was always artistic, and it was my dream to be an actress. I don't know where it came from. I think I loved movies.
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of movies when I was a kid because I was a loner.
Yeah.
So that's where my passion came from. So I saw this poster, and I was like, okay, let me try. But it was in French, and I was really like a beginner in French.
Yeah.
And I was the only first immigrant kid in this high school doing theater classes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It must have felt good to sort of go against the grain, right?
Yeah.
Like to sort of set stereotypes aside and say, like, you know what, if I can do it, so can others, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So what was the role? What was that first role that you did in theater?
The first role that I did, it was Christmas, something about Christmas. I don't remember the name. I was a little girl.
Okay.
Playing with another girl with sisters, like annoying sisters,
Okay. Yeah.
That was my first role.
Nice. Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Did
I
you
love theater.
feel like, fear being on stage in front of peers? How did you battle through those nerves?
Well, I was pretty young. I was like 15, 16, I think. Yeah, I was really nervous, but when I got onto the stage, I felt really like it's my place. I remember that feeling for sure, and that's where it got me more moving.
Yeah.
After that, like I was like, I really want to be an actress after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that production, where did the arts take you? Where did you start going afterwards?
So my mom found an agency, and I got in the agency, and I started doing extra.
Okay.
The most famous movie, let's say, was Mother with Jennifer Lawrence by Darren Aronofsky.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I was extra a girl in a cage because it's a really intense movie.
Yeah.
So yeah. I saw Jennifer Lawrence in front of me. It was really,
Did she talk
it was
to you?
really cool. No.
Oh, it's too bad, huh?
But it was a memorable moment for me because I was 17 and I was like, wow.
Of course. It's a big star right there, and the rule is when you're an extra, for those of you that don't know, you're not allowed to speak to the stars unless you're spoken to. Otherwise you're fired like pretty much immediately, right? It's like you're gone.
Course. You don't bother them.
Yeah, exactly. I remember hearing stories about production here where there was a drone shot and it was like $1 million shot and someone's cell phone went off.
No.
And then the director came out and started freaking out and like fired the person because it cost the production that much money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because of, a wasted shot and all the explosion that went on and this and
God.
that. Yeah, so pretty sure that person would be blacklisted for life.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah. Okay, so you did the extra work. Are you training right now?
I took classes like 2 years ago with
Where?
Andrew Morris.
Okay.
It was private classes. And then I had some break from acting.
Okay.
I decided that I want to pursue something else.
Okay.
And,
so what happens in between? So what encouraged you to have this break? Because it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's either acting's for you or it's not.
Yeah.
So obviously this break is telling you, okay, maybe the arts is for me, but not in particular acting. So what happened? Was there a moment that arrived where it was sort of I don't want to do this?
I always wanted to do it, but I think the fear took over me. since I was growing up and started to have more insecurities, not only how I look, but only my personality as well. A lot of things changed, you know.
Okay.
I started doubting myself a lot and overthinking a lot of things. So I was like, I need a break to just get everything together.
From my life experience and from many of the viewers that are watching, insecurity comes from within when you look in the mirror. When you're your worst own enemy, so to speak, right? Your worst critique is yourself.
Yeah, for
If you get back into the arts, it's very important that you take one foot at a time forward, but with great pride within your own talent.
Yeah.
That is so crucial. Inner confidence is a beauty, and that radiates outwards.
It's
Once
important.
you can accept who you are as a person and love yourself for your faults, because everyone has faults and vices and this and that, it's okay to have that, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's important that you do what you love.
Yeah.
And this is talk coming from someone who has experience in life. You know, I've been there, done that. I've been that crazy, anxious guy in high school, this and that, right?
I
So
feel you.
what you're trying to do now for your next step in your career and things that you want to pursue is just know that everything's going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
So you're taking a break from acting.
Yeah.
What are you trying to pursue now? Is there anything in particular?
Well, currently I'm in Trebes.
Trebes, okay.
I just finished my first session in film and television program.
Yeah.
And I also got back to being an extra in some movies at Trebes. And
So you're getting back into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
slowly, but surely.
So through
for sure.
Trebes, what are you trying to do in particular? Is there anything like director? Is there anything
I really want to be directing, and I want to
directing?
script writing as well.
Okay.
But it's a hard path for sure, but I'm pretty passionate about it. And acting, I want to pursue acting as well. I want to still keep going.
Essentially, if you become a content creator, script writer, and a director, you can be an actress in all your projects, right? You don't have to wait for someone to cast you, so you can just
be
tell
myself.
these stories about yourself and put a part of yourself in each of these projects, and hopefully, you know, you find the inner beauty in that project, and so will others. I think that's sort of the key to creating your own content, right?
Yeah.
Unless you want to do TikTok videos, and it's like purely for views, right? Which is crazy and ridiculous. Okay.
No.
So that's the next step. I also heard that you were in a documentary.
Yeah.
So would you like to share this documentary?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so what happened?
So when I was in high school, we had theater classes. It was our teacher, Melissa Lefebvre. She decided to create a movie about us, immigrant kids, and how we're going through immigration, how our parents going through immigration. So they started a documentary, and we've been filming for almost a year in that school.
It's still going on right now?
No, it's done. It's been like 10 years ago or so.
Okay, so
No, less than. And the movie aired, and every school saw it. We won like a lot of prizes, like Force Avenir, the most like common one.
Okay.
And we traveled a lot in cities, Canada, giving interviews with my other classmates.
Yeah.
Because we're a class, we're like a team. It really helped us a lot because I feel like it was a therapy also for us because we were kids. We had to let it all out, you know. We're talking about our problems, adaptation in high school, and how our parents are suffering, and like they have to redo their diplomas, all of that together. And it bonded us a lot because we were finally not alone, and finally people started to understand how is it like for us immigrants.
Yeah.
Especially kids. What are we going through?
Wow. That's,
different nations, different countries, all of that.
wow.
So
So it really like unified all of you guys after doing that, right?
For sure. It was it was an adventure.
Yeah. Is there a particular city that you went to go visit in Canada where you're like, I kind of love it here? You know?
Was it Noyan-Naranda? Something like that?
Rio-Naranda, so here in Quebec. Okay,
it was really like a 10-hour bus trip, I remember. It was
it's
really
small.
fun. It's super small,
yeah.
super small, but people were really, really nice to us, and we had a whole like a room full of people asking us questions and just talking to us, you know, about the movie.
So that's the spot that you can potentially see yourself maybe in the future on your own being there, or?
Oh, you mean like asking in general?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, that was just a city that you enjoyed.
Enjoyed while traveling with bagage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in general, I think I'm going to stay here. Yeah. And Montreal, I love Montreal. I went to Toronto. Super nice, beautiful, too expensive.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I heard Toronto's more expensive than Montreal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I think for now I'm going to stay here.
Yeah? Okay, great. So if I were to be a producer or director,
Yeah.
why should I hire you over the 2 or 3 other girls in the room that look exactly like you? And asking this, it's because the viewers, and you don't know who will be watching, could be
Yeah.
any director, producer who could potentially hire you, is to try to sell yourself in terms of who you are as a person. Like,
Yeah.
what can I expect from you when you're on set, and why should I choose you over the other girls that look exactly like you?
Well, for sure I can say that I'm an authentic person.
Authentic.
For
Okay.
me, it's really important. I'm sincere, I'm loyal. I love teamwork. For me, it's really important.
Mhm.
Teamwork is where I shine the best.
Okay.
And yeah, it's easy to direct me also.
Okay.
Like, I understand
Yeah.
everything you tell me. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not good at selling myself.
No, it's okay. Sometimes it's best to let your work
Yeah.
show who you are as an artist,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And then they get to know who you are on set afterwards.
Yeah.
Are there any tips and tricks that you'd like to give viewers who are starting out in acting, or even established actors?
Yeah.
What are some of the processes that you go through in terms of like looking at a script or things like that? And would you be willing to share with some of the viewers some of your tips and tricks?
For me, as an anxious person, and because I have ADHD, so I have to focus on something.
Like one thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do meditation
Okay.
before.
Okay.
And then I read the script. I usually try to read it in different emotions, like same emotion but different range of emotions, if you know what I mean. Like sad, but like
So intensity
upset,
level
yeah,
1,
intensity
5,
level.
and whatever
Exactly,
else.
yeah.
Okay.
I try to do that. It helps me a lot to understand which emotion I want to portray more.
Yeah.
And what they want from me, what the
Okay.
script wants, you know.
Okay.
That, and also helps a lot when you do the dialogue and someone like responds to you. Like, for example, you're gonna read the dialogue and I'm gonna answer.
Yeah.
That's really fast to memorize it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say if I gave you like 5 pages right now and I said, okay, this is what you have to memorize in 24 hours. Would you be able to do it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was a very confident answer, very quick.
Yeah.
Confidence is key, guys.
For sure.
Okay, so 5 pages. What's the most pages that you've had to memorize for an audition?
For an audition, not a lot.
No,
I had 3 pages.
that's not so bad.
No.
So was it mostly your dialogue? Was it someone else's?
Yeah, it was 2 people dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
only
nice.
that.
Okay.
No monologues so far. Yeah.
No? Have you tried to practice monologues? Have you done monologues in your classes? Okay,
I
what do you
love
think?
I love reading monologues because like that's when you shine, basically.
Yeah.
when you-
Supposedly, certain talent agents will, when you're doing an audition, they ask you for a monologue because it showcases your level of acting.
Yeah.
Right? It's not necessarily your talent. You could be the most talented actor in the world.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything, no, right? If you're not
For
going to put
sure.
in the work ethic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know a little bit about your past, you as an artist. What about you as a person? So what can we expect? Like, let's say we're on set and there's snacks and there's food items. What are some of the requests that you would have to
Gonna
make
eat
it like the
everything.
perfect, time for you on set?
Perfect time for me on set.
Yeah.
It would be I don't know. I guess.
Like, let's say if I said like, oh yeah, do you want candy or do you want cake or do you want cheesecake? Food stuff. What sort of things would?
What kind of food makes me happy?
Yeah, what kind of What kind of food makes you happy?
Honestly, any food except mushrooms. I hate mushrooms.
Yeah,
Don't hate me.
it's a fungus. So.
Yeah, I don't like mushrooms, and I'm a foodie, so I eat everything. Honestly.
Okay.
So I would be happy if there would be an apple.
An apple.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
As soon as it's food, it's food.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So what about hobbies? Is there any special skill that's on your CV that really pops out? Like, let's say, for example, if you're like a ballet dancer, it's like, wow, that's really unique. Sports, for example, is there anything that you play that you can add on the CV?
I did martial arts for 2 years. I did
Okay.
kickboxing for 2 years.
Kickboxing.
And I used to sing a lot, and I play violin.
So you added that onto the CV.
Yeah.
Obviously, special skills. It's great.
Singing, not so much right now because my voice changed a lot. I feel like before it was better, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think contributed to the change? Just growing up, maybe?
Growing
Just,
up for sure, my
it's-
voice changed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I sing?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it wasn't the
It
same.
requires training, for
Yeah.
sure. I gotta go back to training.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you had to do a dream role right now, if I was a director and producer, gave you a paper and I said you can have any role that you want, sign your soul to this
Oh.
paper, right? Take away fame, take away money, status, this and that. What role would you choose? Anything in particular?
My dream is to play in a horror movie.
A horror movie?
A horror
Out of anything in the world, you're
yeah,
choosing a horror movie.
a horror movie.
Why a horror movie?
I feel like I can portray dark emotions pretty well.
Okay, so do you want to do like a horror movie like You, the TV series, you know, where there's Love Quinn and they're like kind of serial killers together, or horror movie like Demon Possession style, or slasher, you know?
I like both, but demon stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
I like this more. Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like that would be cool.
Okay, and what about like a TV series? If you could choose any TV series right now that's created, which one would you like to be in?
It's gonna sound super cringe, but Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries? Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, I'm a vampire.
Yeah. Okay, so Vampire Diaries, would you want to be, I think there's werewolves, hybrids,
Yeah, vampires.
vampires and humans, obviously.
Yeah.
Which clan would you want to be a part of?
A vampire for sure.
Vampires? Why?
Yeah. I always loved vampires.
Never get to see the sun, though.
Yeah, but I love the aesthetic. You know, goth aesthetic, all of
Yeah.
that. They're not really gothic in Vampire Diaries, but like this aesthetic, I don't know, I love it.
It's the dark clothing.
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like I would be a really good vampire.
Yeah, a lot of my friends would be like, oh yeah, if you're in Vampire Diaries, you'd be a hybrid. You'd be like Klaus. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I take pride in that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know?
sure, hybrids are cool. I don't
Yeah.
mind too.
So Vampire Diaries, boom, okay. What is the series that you recently binge watched? Something where you just couldn't put down your snacks and you're watching it.
Oh, I recently watched Baby Reindeer. I don't know
I
if you've
heard
heard.
about that. I don't know.
It's
I
the
heard
new
about
one.
that. What is that? Yeah.
It's basically a guy is getting stalked by a woman. She's crazy, apparently.
A guy getting stalked by a woman. That's
Yeah.
very unusual.
I'm not gonna tell you more because you gotta
No.
watch it.
Okay.
It's intense. I personally loved it. Like the emotions that they portray there, it's insane.
Is it based on a true story?
True story.
True story. So there was actually a crazy woman stalking a guy.
And yeah,
Oh.
and even real Stalker. She did an interview with Pierce. What's his name? I don't remember.
Yeah.
The real one. Imagine.
Yeah.
Scary.
Really? Yeah.
The real one. Real Stalker.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what about like? So that's a movie series?
It's a TV show, yeah.
TV show.
Series.
Okay. What's the most recent movie that you've seen in the movie theaters?
In the movie theaters, I went to see The Omen. The
Omen,
new
Omen.
one. It was the old one, and they made a new one.
Ah, yeah. Okay. That came out a while ago, though, right?
Yeah,
I
the
think,
like
yeah?
old
Okay.
version. There's also a book. It's based on a book.
Okay.
And I read a book, so I was like, wow, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was scary. It was I don't know. For me, it was really like scary because it's not screamers. It's more psychological.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So mess
There's
with
some
the mind.
scenes that are like
psyche.
you're like what?
Yeah.
Super
Okay.
nice. I recommend.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. The Omen.
Yeah.
So you know a little bit about the culture here in Montreal, film industry, this and that. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you'd like to see changed in the industry for the positive side of things?
In the film industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I used to do extra,
Mm-hmm.
we were just treated like we're not important, not as important.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on the production. I don't want to say for everybody.
No.
But I feel like being an extra is still being an actor, you know? You're still into acting mode and you still get trained for that even. So we're just people who, we work for that, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to treat the people as their actors, you know? Not
Yeah.
just like walking around humans.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I really hope that changes.
Yeah, I remember when I started off with being an extra, and I took it very seriously, you know. I took
Yeah.
it like a real acting job. Like I was there to do the work and do it proper. And there
Same,
were
yeah.
some people that I would meet where they were just there for an easy, you know, paycheck. It's like, oh, I'm just scratching off my bucket list, man. Boom, and that was it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
A lot of people.
you and I are going to have a talk after. That's not cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a
But
lot of people.
There are times where being an extra, people think it's easy. Yeah, it's fairly easy. You know, you do
It
like
depends,
the
I
fish
think.
bubbling mouth.
Yeah.
But there are times where I've been on set here, actually at McGill, for like 19 hours.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where I started falling asleep. My
Yeah.
head kept bobbing up and down, and I would wake up and look around. And
It's super hard.
Yeah, it's
top job.
long hours. You know, people think
sure.
it's so easy, and I've had the pleasure of meeting a few individuals who just live life as an extra for their job in LA
Yeah, I met
because
them
it's
too.
decent money, and it's like you guys are so awesome. You guys inspire me to pursue what I love in life, and I think
Yeah.
that's key in life is do what you love no matter what it is. If you know, I've met a guy who's happy being a janitor.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cool, you know? If everyone pursued what they loved, the world would be a better place.
For sure.
It'd be so different,
Just people
right?
are judgy, that's why.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So going back to a little bit more with, acting stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that's challenged you emotionally or physically in terms of preparing for a role?
I feel like I am having like, I struggle with playing in a comedy, let's say. I'm a pretty funny person in real life,
Yeah.
but I feel like playing in comedy, it's a bit of a struggle for me.
Why?
It's like I cannot get into the role because for me it's like being fake funny, because it's the script. You read the script and
exactly.
I'm naturally, I gotta be natural. If I make a joke, it just comes out of me naturally, When I read a script, I'm like, oh, how do I make it funny?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a struggle for me.
Any advice that I can give you is through my coaches. They said anytime you have an audition for comedic stuff, it's all about timing. You could say it deadpan, but if you have the perfect timing for it, because that's what comedy is, it's timing, right?
Yeah.
If you watch a TV series, there's certain timing, there's a beat to it. You have to find what that beat is. And once you find that beat and the timing, it automatically becomes funny. You don't have to try. You just deliver your lines and it can come off as funny.
That's great.
That's the key, yeah. So I hope that's going to help you for your future comedic auditions. If you have any, I don't know.
I'll love that.
I think you're sort of aspiring to be a vampire more than anything. So
please.
It's not a bad thing, but if that can help you, I hope it helps you.
Thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you so much, Arina, for
Pleasure.
being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. This is Rising Stars Montreal. I'm your host, Sean Watt, and this production was sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.